What if one of the biggest names in mobile tech just publicly cast serious doubt on Intel's grand plan to become a chip manufacturing powerhouse? It's not just a rejection. It's a stark reminder that in the high-stakes world of silicon, advanced technology and trust are earned, not simply declared. For years, Intel dominated the silicon landscape, manufacturing its own chips and setting the pace. But times have certainly changed. They have faced significant headwinds, and their bold new strategy involves opening up their foundries, their massive chip factories, to external customers. They call it Intel Foundry Services, or IFS, and it represents a multi-billion-dollar bet on reclaiming their place at the forefront of manufacturing. Intel is inviting companies, perhaps even yours, to imagine a world where Intel crafts the very heart of their next big innovation. A compelling vision, right? But then came a rather candid, almost startling, statement from a very powerful voice in the industry, Cristiano Amon, the CEO of Qualcomm. And his words? They truly echo a significant challenge for Intel. Amon recently told the press, quite directly, that Intel's current chip-making technology simply isn't advanced enough for Qualcomm's needs. Now, that's not just a casual dismissal. This isn't about preference. It's about the absolute bleeding edge of physics and engineering. When Amon talks about advanced enough, he's referring to the incredibly tiny, unbelievably complex processes that create the transistors on a chip. Think of it like building a miniature city, where every building needs to be minuscule and perfectly aligned to handle immense power and data. The smaller the node, the more transistors you can pack in, leading to faster, more power-efficient chips. Companies like TSMC and Samsung have been pushing these limits for years, and Qualcomm, a leader in mobile processors and connectivity, relies entirely on their advanced capabilities. Qualcomm needs these state-of-the-art processes to build the chips that power your smartphones, your future smart cars, and so much more. They absolutely demand the very best to stay competitive, and right now, they feel Intel doesn't quite measure up to that standard. So, while Intel is actively seeking to woo customers for its new foundry business, Qualcomm continues to lean heavily on its established partners, TSMC and Samsung. It's a clear indication that Intel still has some serious ground to make up in the foundry race. And Qualcomm itself isn't standing still either. While many of us associate them primarily with smartphone chips, Amon is steering the company far beyond that. They are making massive inroads into the automotive sector, developing sophisticated platforms for everything from infotainment systems to fully autonomous driving. This expansion only intensifies their need for cutting-edge, reliable, and incredibly efficient silicon. Imagine the computing power required for a self-driving car. It's immense, and it needs to be fault-tolerant and perfectly optimized. This strategic move means their chip demands are only growing in complexity and criticality. This situation reveals a fascinating dynamic. Intel, a titan aiming to reassert its manufacturing dominance, faces skepticism from a potential major client like Qualcomm, who is simultaneously expanding its own horizons into crucial new markets that demand nothing less than the absolute pinnacle of chip technology. So what does this all tell us? It suggests that the future of silicon isn't just about who designs the fastest chip, but who can actually build the most advanced ones. It highlights the fierce competition in the foundry space and the immense challenge Intel faces in convincing the world they are truly ready to compete at the very top tier. Will Intel manage to bridge this gap and win over skeptics like Qualcomm? Or will the foundry landscape remain firmly in the hands of the current leaders? We invite you to share your thoughts on this evolving story. How do you see Intel's foundry future unfolding? You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe and join the conversation.